welcome to another Mad Hatter Reviews. So I had a prediction a few months ago, or whenever Mattel picked up that Ninja Turtles license, whenever it was announced that they were going to pick up the Master Ninja Turtles license, that I felt like it did not bode well for people that want figures outside of Mattel, because Mattel doesn't need the money. Okay, I said this before. They billion-dollar corporation, Barbie, Hot Wheels, all that stuff, Masters of the Universe, which you notice for the most part, other than like Mondo recently, they don't really outsource other companies to do figures. You know what I mean? Like there's no like companies doing Barbie, things like that. And I had mentioned back then, I was like, my fear is that Mattel is going to sort of like close off the licensing game because they don't need it. You know what I mean? And since then, I have heard, because people do speak to me, people in the industry sometimes, surprise, surprise, I have heard a few rumblings that Mattel might not play so nice with the license. They might, sort of like hunker down. Still, it was like nothing was official, but I got this message from a retailer, which is now the second time I've heard this from a retailer, and basically it says, I don't have it in front of me, but Joytoy will not, the TMNT license is expiring for Joytoy, so they will be not making Ninja Turtle products moving forward. Okay? And then, that was it. They also expressed how bummed out they were because, they're selling the party wagon, and the party wagon, which I got, I'm going to do a review, sort of like the last big thing. You know what I mean? The last if that is the case, according to this person. Again, this is now the second retailer I've heard this from, and the first one was being a little bit cagey about it. But I trust these sources. Now, can something change? Of course. You know what I mean? Anything can change. Mattel can pivot, whatever. However, don't get your don't get your hopes up for once Mattel gets the license to get anything that is Ninja Turtle that is not Mattel. This includes Joytoy, of course. This includes Lingjun, NECA. Really, anybody that is doing Ninja Turtle action figures, I think they get the kibosh. I think Mattel waits for that license to expire because they have to legally, and then they go, bye-bye, we're not going to be needing you. It's a huge bummer for me because I don't think a company like Mattel, even though like I'm probably going to like a lot of the stuff they do, I don't think they're going to compete with like some of the stuff we've seen like abroad. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of good spots that are making like Ninja Turtle stuff, like amazing Ninja Turtle stuff. Joytoy is one of them. Joytoy might be the best. So I've heard this now from enough sources. At first I was just like, heard it from one person. I was like, I'm not gonna spill the beans. But now it's got to be like 10 people and 2 retailers that are basically saying license expired, there's no more Ninja Turtles. So take this whole video with a grain of salt. This could change. Who knows? Mattel might change things, but I've said this before, I wouldn't get my hopes up because Mattel doesn't need the money. They can just silo Ninja Turtles and say, nope, Ninja Turtles, everybody else goes to hell except us. We're the only ones that make Ninja Turtles. It's a good business strategy. I mean, well, we'll see. It remains to be seen if it's a good business strategy, okay? Because people might get pissed off and be like, no, we don't want to do it. Or maybe their stuff is so good we just forget about Joytoy. I can't see that happening. But, yeah. I usually don't like to make videos based on stuff that's not substantiated. I've heard enough of these. But even though I've heard it from many people, do your own research. You know what I mean? Don't take my word for it. Trust me, bro. Okay? There will be people in the comments that, what's your source? I'm not going to out. I'm not going to out the people that have talked to me in confidentiality. So, you could choose to not believe it. But I wouldn't make this video if I just thought it was complete bupkis. Okay, because I didn't want to believe it. I was like, no, no, no. Joytoy is going to make Ninja Turtles forever. I don't think that's the case. So, link in my description if you want that party wagon. I got it, by the way. I'm going to do a review. You might want to stock up on a few of these things because, yeah, there will not be a restock. According, well, this retailer said flat out there's no restock. This is what I have in my store is what I have in my store. So that's it. That's all. Ninja Turtles. We don't know. We don't know what's happening. NECA without Ninja Turtle, that's a big one. I think this is why NECA is also pivoting to things like DuckTales, some of these other bigger properties that I know they're going to be releasing now. Maybe this doesn't affect Mondo because Mondo is like a 1/6 scale game, not 1/12 in terms of the Ninja Turtles. God, I hope not. That would really suck if they decided to cut off those 1/6 turtles after that Donatello. But maybe they don't care. Mattel doesn't seem to care about those scales, you know, and maybe Fubi, maybe they also don't give a shit about that. That's another one. Anyway, that's it. I just want to let you guys know, again, I've already heard this from enough unrelated people. And, once he said he's not getting any more in stock, I was like, uh-oh, because, this is somebody I trust. So, source, trust me, bro, I guess, I hope I'm wrong, by the way. So that's all. Let me know what you guys think about this. Party Wagon review coming up. We'll show that. I'll put a link in the description for that. You might want to lock it down. That's all. Comment, subscribe, drop me a like. See you next time. Bye-bye.